corn snakes the best snakes to own, period? Stick around because I got the answer for you in this video. My name's Pierce LaValle, this is Pierce's Planet, and let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my planet, Pierce's Planet, and today's video we're going to be talking all about corn snakes. And if you guys have been around and watched my videos, you guys know that corn snakes are one of my favorite species of snakes, and I cannot talk highly enough about them. This video has been long overdue, and I thought it was about time that we talked about corn snakes and just how great of pets they are. And the question today is, are they the best pet snake to own, period? Today's video is a care guide video on corn snakes. We're gonna go through how to take care of them, how easy or hard they are to take care of, and how they are as pets. With me today, I have my corn snake, Slithery, and in a previous video, I think I said she was about 18 years old. I actually think she's more around 19 or 20 years old. Slithery is the reason why I got into snakes, and she's the reason why I speak so highly about corn snakes, because my experience with her has always been amazing. So the thing about corn snakes is they are from the southern United States, the southeastern United States, and they, as with all North American or most North American species of snake, they're very, very hardy because the climate that they live in the winters it gets really cold, in the summers it gets really hot. And so the climate they live in fluctuates quite a bit. So they have to be very hardy and able to survive in the environment that they are from. So what makes corn snakes such great pet snakes? And the first thing I have to talk about is their attitude and their handleability. Them and ball pythons are, you know, the number one and number two in terms of attitude and aggressiveness. They really aren't aggressive at all. As babies, they can be a little nippy, but that's pretty much all snakes. If you hold them and handle them a lot, they will become super, super tame, like Slithery here. I've had Slithery for 20 years. She bit me one time because I was feeding her and wasn't paying attention, and she just missed the rat and went straight to my hand and got me. Didn't hurt at all either. And so even if they're in shed, like how Slithery's about to be pretty soon, because she is getting a little dull, even if they're in shed like this, you don't have to worry about them being nippy with you or biting you. They stay pretty tame like this. And unlike a lot of snakes, if you don't hold them for long periods of time, say a month or 2 months or 3 months, most likely they'll stay just as tame as what they were when you left them. A lot of snakes might revert back to that defensiveness if you don't handle them regularly. Let's say you were to go on a trip and for a month and you came back, your snake would probably be just as tame as it was when you left. Whereas a snake such as like my blood python, if I were to leave for a month and not handle that snake, there's a good chance that when I came back, it would revert back to that defensive behavior that blood pythons are known for. Another reason why corn snakes are such great pet snakes for not only beginners but anybody is because of their size. They have a great handling size. If you can see, this Slithery is an adult female. And just so you guys could get a good reference of her size, she's actually probably on the smaller side as far as like girth, but she's about 4.5 feet, 4.5 feet long. So perfect size. I mean, they're not too big. Ball pythons will get a little bit bigger. As far as like the girth wise, corn snakes I believe get about the same length or if not longer. They're just a great size to handle, especially for a child. For a child, you want something that's small and tame, and corn snakes are both. And they're not even really that small to where they seem kind of fragile. You can still kind of see they got some decent size to them. So that's another reason why I think corn snakes are just so great. They max out at about 5.5, maybe 6 feet if if it's a very, very big female. But for the most part, they're gonna stay around that 4.5 to 5 foot range. So handling, not that big of a deal. They do really well with handling, and you can just kind of hold them and just kind of hang out with them like this. One thing about corn snake handling that I will say, and I've said before, could be a con for some people, is the fact that, as you can see with slithery, they like to move. They're not like ball pythons where they're just gonna sit in your hand and just kind of sit there and chill out with you. They wanna move, they wanna explore, and so that could be a con for some people. For me, it's a pro. I like having my snake move around and slither around and be active. I don't like having a, just like basically a pet rock that just sits there. It's really personal preference when it comes to that, but just thought I'd mention that for everybody. As far as the cost of keeping these snakes are relatively cheap to keep. I mean, I'm talking, the snake itself is only gonna be about $40, depending on, what morphs you get and things like that. But for just a basic slithery is just a normal like she's the natural colorations. Yeah, that's like $40. You'll find them at every single pet store. So the initial cost of the snake is cheap. Since they're smaller, they don't need that big of an enclosure. They don't need that big of housing. So Slithery's in a 6 foot by 2 foot, I think, 6 foot by 1.5 foot, and that's even big for her. She could probably do well in a 40 gallon. That's probably, I would say, the minimum size you'd want to go, but like a 40, 50 gallon. And then you just need the heat pad. You need a hide. I put Slithery on aspen and a water dish that they can soak in if they need to. I've actually never seen Slithery put her whole body in a water dish and soak. So I don't know if that's just her or if all corn snakes are like that, but I don't think they're that big of soakers. But just a hide, aspen, and a water dish, and then whatever other decorations you want to put in there to decorate and make it look nice is up to you. But their care is, that's it. And then their humidity, they need a moderate humidity, I think around like 40%, 50%. And so you don't really have to spray ever. And their temperatures gonna range, I think their hot spot, you're gonna want it to be about 88 to 90 degrees. And their temperatures, at night, the temperatures can drop to as low as 65, 70 degrees. And during the day, you kind of want an ambient temperature of around 80 degrees, but other than that, that's it. With your heating, if you are in a colder area, you could also give them a basking lamp, like a basking spot by a lamp. I've never had to do that because I live out here in Sacramento and it doesn't get that cold, so a heating pad is perfectly fine. But if you need to, you can give them a lamp. They probably won't bask too much, but just to give them that extra heat, it might be helpful. Obviously, you want your heating pad to be connected to a thermostat so you don't burn your snake. But that's it. Super easy to take care of. Don't cost a lot. You're gonna pay for one mouse or one small rat a week. That's it. And that's all you need to do. Just keep their cage clean. So substrate. So I keep Slithery on aspen, but there's multiple types of substrate you can keep them on. You could keep them on cork bark. You could keep them on cypress mulch. You can keep them on aspen. Pretty much any type of substrate. I don't really know if there's any types of substrates you can't keep them on. If there are, I'll put them, in the corner of this video. And you could even keep them on newspaper if you wanted to. I don't like putting my snakes on newspaper just because it looks ugly. But if you guys want to put them on newspaper, that's fine too, as long as you give them adequate hiding spots. As far as lighting goes, as with almost all snakes, you don't really need any UVB light. It's not required. I've never had a UVB light on Slithery. Not to say that it's not helpful. It doesn't help them out. It doesn't hurt them, and it will make your cage pop and look a little bit better, but it's not required. You don't need it. These snakes are mostly nocturnal. They're gonna come out mainly at night, although they're pretty much active. I could tell you most of the time you're gonna see them moving around and active. Corn snakes have great feeding responses, and they their feeding responses don't necessarily carry over to cage defensiveness, which is something that I love. They will eat, they will never miss a meal. A snake like a ball python, they sometimes go on hunger strikes and you can't get them to eat no matter what you do. You will never have a corn snake go on a hunger strike. They love to eat. That doesn't translate into them being defensive where you can't go into their cage and reach in and grab them. I never hesitate to reach into Slithery's cage and go just pick her up and grab her. A lot of snakes you have to worry about that with. You have to worry about feeding them in the same cage that they live in because they could get super cage aggressive and strike at everything that reaches in there. Corn snakes, not the case at all. So with feeding, the thing about corn snakes is that they will take frozen very well. And even if you've done live, even if you started with live, eventually you could get them onto frozen. Slithery, for probably the first 15, 16 years of her life, was eating live mice. And I wanted to stop because I hate feeding my snakes live. And so I gradually got her to get onto frozen, and now she eats frozen regularly. That's all she eats. So they are really easy to feed, and if you need to switch up their feeding, you can. She also was eating mice, adult mice, and in order to give her a little bit more size and a little bit more girth, I switched her onto rats, rat pups, and the occasional weaned rat, and she took that with ease as well. So very great feeders, very fun to watch, just all around great snakes. So there is one exception to the won't ever go on a hunger strike rule. And it's an exception that I just recently, well, relatively recently, found out about. And it's the reason why I said earlier that Slithery is a little skinny right now. And that reason is because that I didn't know that corn snakes, and it might be more than just corn snakes, but all I know about is corn snakes. Corn snakes can lay eggs without a mate. I had no idea corn snakes could do that. When she first did it, she went on a hunger strike. I was a little nervous and worried about her, but I waited it out. And eventually one day I walked into the room and she was curled up around some eggs. And it freaked me out. Now the eggs aren't fertile, obviously, but just the fact that she laid about a clutch of 10 eggs was amazing to me without a mate. So she recently did that a couple weeks ago. And so that's why she's a little skinny, and I've been feeding her, extra to try to kind of get that weight back up on her. But just very interesting fact about corn snakes that I had no idea about. And with corn snakes, there are just a whole bunch of different morphs. I mean, ball pythons probably take the cake in terms of snake morphs because they have hundreds, thousands, I don't know how many morphs ball pythons have. But corn snakes aren't far behind. They have quite a bit of different morphs. You can go, and if you go on the morph market, you can find a whole bunch just of different corn snake morphs that you never thought would have existed. Slithery here is she's just a normal, and I think the normal pattern and the normal coloration is beautiful. Go check those out because there's a corn snake out there for you, a corn snake coloration and pattern for you. They're just beautiful snakes. One's out there for you. You just gotta find them and just look for them. So the one thing that I do want to make you guys aware of is that Slithery is about 20 years old, and so corn snakes can live a long time. So this isn't just some type of pet that you're only gonna have for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years and kind of just throw away. No, these animals live a very long time, and so this is a long-term commitment that you're gonna make. It's not a huge commitment because you really aren't sacrificing much to keep a snake like a corn snake, but it is some type of commitment, and you do have to have some type of responsibility to take care of these pets. So that's just something to be aware of and something you want to keep in mind if you're thinking about getting a corn snake. So I know today's video was pretty much things that I repeated about corn snakes before already, but I just wanted to give you guys like an official care guide to check out for corn snakes. I know I'm biased because Slithery was my first snake that I've ever gotten, and I've had her for so long, but I honestly do believe that for any level of keeper, corn snakes are the epitome of the type of snakes that you want to care for. Easy to care for, fun and easy to handle, great size, not too big, not too small. and just all around fun pets. I mean, look how curious and how interactive Slithery is with me. I mean, this is what you want. This is what anybody wants their snake to be. So that's why I do believe they are the best snakes for beginners, and I believe they are one of the best snakes, period, just for all around any type of level keeper. So that was it for today's video, you guys. I know today's video, I kind of just repeated things that I've said in previous videos about corn snakes, but I do truly love these snakes. But stick around for my next video. I just got a new girl in, and I can't wait to show her off for you guys. And let me just tell you, she's going to be a giant. That's all I'm gonna say. She's gonna be a giant. So stick around for more fun videos like that. I got a lot more in store for you guys. I'm back to filming. I'm gonna keep up on my filming again because I know I was slacking for a while. So make sure you guys know the drill. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys comment on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel, and please share this video. I want you guys to share the hell out of this video. Bring people over here. I know some people are interested in getting pets, and this channel will help them with that. So please share this video for me. Until next time, everybody, my name is Pierce LaValle. This is Slithery. We're in Pierce's Planet, and remember, it's all about the reps, baby. Peace. Kind of maybe hopefully help you if you, not this bullshit. In previous videos, I think reptiles and snakes, and oh my god, not this again, dude. Not fucking this again. Not this again. Really have like a steady temperature. What is wrong with this? What is wrong with you? Seriously. God! As babies with most... Oh my god! I'm going to break this thing. I'm not gonna break it. 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 I'm not gonna break it.